Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob, I'll be your host. And it's summertime, and it being summer, I'm sure people are looking for reasons to get out of the house and do things. And one option that is available to role players is live action role play, otherwise referred to as LARP or LARPing. And so in this video, we're going to look at a LARP game. It's not something we normally look at, and I'm not really into LARP games, but I do have a couple. So in this video, we're going to look at The Mind's Eye Theater for the World of Darkness. This book has 343 pages and a copyright of 2005. It was published by White Wolf Games, and all of the artwork in this book is in black and white, and it goes from both real photographs to some artwork, hand-drawn. And it's okay. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white. And it uses both hand-drawn pictures like this one, as well as photographs of real people playing the game. The hand-drawn pictures does a good job of setting a proper tone and mood for this game, while the photographs do a very good job of showing immersion within the game. To play this game, what you're going to need is, of course, a copy of this core rulebook and either a deck of cards or some 10-sided dice, but we'll get to that in a little bit. First, we're going to look at character creation. And if you can make up a character in the regular tabletop version of the World of Darkness role-playing game, then you can make up a character in this game, because there's literally no difference between the two. The attributes used in this game are intelligence, wits, resolve, strength, dex, stamina, presence, manipulation, and composure. Each of these range from 1 to 5 dots. Each of them start with 1 dot, automatic for free in each of the attributes. And the attributes are broken up into 3 categories. You have your physical attributes, which is your strength, dexterity, and stamina. Your mental attributes, which is your intelligence, wisdom, wits, and resolve. And then you have your social attributes, which are presence, manipulation, and composure. And you have to pick a priority out of these 3 categories. Your priority will get 5 additional dots to split amongst them. Your next most important will get 4, and your least most important will get 3. And then you pick your skills. You have 3 categories of skills, which are mental skills, physical skills, and social skills. And they range again from 1 dot or 0 dots really to 5 dots. None of them start with any free points in them. And again you pick a priority, and that priority gets 11 dots to split up amongst it. Your next most important will get 7, and your least most important will get 4. After that, you pick 3 skill specialties. Then you pick your virtue and your vice, which is kind of like gives you a guide for your character and a means to get back willpower. You then get 7 dots for merits, and then you figure up your defense. Your defense will be the addition of it'll be the lower of your dexterity or your wits. Your health will be your stamina plus your size. A full-grown human is size 5. Your initiative is your dexterity plus your composure. Your morality starts at 7, and it can go all the way up to 10, but usually it's going to drop. You then figure up your speed, which is equal to 5. Your running speed, which is equal to strength plus your dexterity plus 5. And then if you want, you can pick some flaws to add to your character, which will give you some more points to spend. And then you figure up your willpower, which is your resolve plus your composure. At this point, your character is pretty much done, unless you're going to play like vampire or werewolf or something, and then you'll add a template. But to do that, you'll need one of the core books for it to go with this. And I have the vampire one and none of the others. But we'll look at this vampire book in another video sometime in the future. Right now, we're just going to concentrate on the core rule book. The rules are pretty close to what you'd find in the tabletop game, with some variation for it being a LARP. Now, originally, the Mind's Eye Theater in the old World of Darkness, the way it handled the rules was your attributes and stuff had traits. And let's say that your traits were stuff like brawny or muscular, robust, or just different descriptions of your character as traits. And when you go to perform a task, you would bid one of these traits. And then you do paper, rock, scissors with somebody. And if you succeeded, you get to keep your trait and you succeed at the task. If you get beaten at paper, rock, scissors, then you fail the task and you lose the use of that trait for the remainder of the session. This book doesn't do that. I didn't care for the old World of Darkness LARP rules, so I never played. I really didn't like them. But this I like. The way it works is you have two options. The first option is you can use a 10-sided die, and when you go to perform a task, you add the dots in your attribute and the dots of your skill together, kind of like you do in the tabletop version. Then you roll the 10-sided die, and whatever number you roll, you add that to the total, and the difficulty for every task is a 10. If these things all added together equal 10 or better, you succeed. And if you roll a 10, you get to roll it again and add that to it. But it doesn't keep going like in the regular tabletop game. Even if you roll a 10 on the second roll, that's it. You just add it and go. Now, optionally, you can use a deck of cards to figure this out. And the deck of cards, you'll break it up into the suits. And all you'll need is the ace being the one spot, all the way up to the 10. And you use that instead of a die roll. You just take the cards out and the person picks a card. And if they pick the 10, they add that to their total and put the card back in the deck, shuffle it, and get to draw one more. And that's pretty much it for performing tasks. Very easy, very straightforward, and I really like that. Now, the bonus of doing it that way is the character in this is exactly the same on paper as your character for a tabletop game. And so you can make up a character here playing the LARP, and if you want it, you can use that character in a tabletop game. Or you can use your character from the tabletop game in your LARP session without having to do any drastic changes or figuring out your stuff as you would in the old version of the game. They weren't that compatible, but you would have to do some work to make them compatible, that kind of thing. This book has everything you need to play, except, of course, the templates if you're playing a supernatural creature. It has rules on different antagonists that you can use in the game, and rules on ghosts, which is pretty neat. All the information here is pretty much the same as what you'd find in the standard tabletop game. It's got a section in here on how to start a LARP, find players, find locations, and everything. It's got a small section here on hand gestures, just a couple of pages, so that you can indicate things without having to say them out loud. You make the hand gestures to show that you're doing this or that, and it explains it in here. It has other rules that you should follow when performing a LARP game, like no touching. You don't touch anybody. Don't use fake weapons, just pretend, for your safety. And that's really about it. It's got a blank character sheet in the back for you to photocopy and use, which is a lot like the standard character sheet that you'd find in the normal tabletop game, only a lot smaller. And it's set up a little bit differently, but essentially it's the same thing. And that's really about it. It goes into detail about how to do combat and everything, and it's pretty much the same as the tabletop version of the game, only presented for a LARP session. And this brings me to 3 questions. Would I play a character in this game? Yeah, if I ever wanted to do a World of Darkness LARP, this would be the route I would go. Like I said, I really didn't care for the old rules for the World of Darkness LARP. But this I like a lot better. Would I run a LARP session using these rules? Yeah, if I had people that were interested in doing a vampire or a World of Darkness LARP, I would do so. Because you don't have to do the vampires and the werewolves. You could run an entire LARP session and just be like supernatural investigators or common people that are getting wrapped up with these supernatural things going on. You know, it's your choice. Would I recommend this book? And yeah, I'd recommend it. I mean, if you want to do a LARP game, I think this set of rules is a lot better than the old Mind's Eye Theater rules. I just really did not care for those at all. But this just miles ahead seems better to me as far as rules go for a LARP. And that's pretty much all I got to say for Mind's Eye Theater right now. We'll take a look at the vampire book in the video sometime down the road. Anyway, thank you for joining me at looking at this book. And hopefully you'll join me next time where we'll talk about something else. Bye.